In October of last year, I received a DM on Discord from fellow YouTuber BritMonkey. It was a YouTube link, with the comment, sus. The video happened to be on the same topic as my recent video on Pareidolia, and the thumbnail had an eerie resemblance to mine. Weird. I watched through it and it was basically the same video, but it was different. The visuals were all crappy stock footage, the writing was stilted, and it felt like he was just reading Wikipedia. He discussed all the same ideas I did in my video, and also in the exact same order. It was also clear to me that the video was copied straight from mine. In my video, I talked about the Ambassadors painting as a sidebar, and mentioned anamorphosis, a type of visual perception. But when he talked about it, he made it sound like anamorphosis was specifically a variety of pareidolia. That indicates that this guy, or rather this AI, has no actual understanding of the subject matter, and is just trying to repackage the same thing. I checked out the guy's channel, which was called Apperception, and he had a number of other videos which seemed to be ripped straight from another channel, The Pursuit of Wonder. I tweeted it out because I thought it was mildly funny. The video only had a couple hundred views, so I forgot about it after a while. Unfortunately, now that inspiration has struck to make this video, Apperception has since deleted the video, along with his entire channel. I didn't have the foresight to download it either, and it's not archived on the Wayback Machine, so I'm out of luck. Bummer. For now, you'll have to take my word for it. It's clear that this channel was an unsuccessful attempt at a content farm. Here's my best guess at this guy's workflow. For the writing, he scraped my script from the transcript on YouTube and asked ChatGPT to reword it for him. This explains the dry writing and the identical structure of topics. Next, he either paid someone to record narration, did it himself, or used another AI tool to generate a text-to-speech version. And finally, the editing was likely outsourced to someone on Fiverr or Upwork. He probably paid someone else to remake my thumbnail as well, using a different example of pareidolia to make it look slightly more original. How do I know how he did it? Well, these content farms all work the same. You can find all kinds of annoying guys on Twitter who collect YouTube play buttons like Pokemon. They don't actually make videos, they use AI and cheap labor to do it for them. Here's some of the inspiring ways they talk about being a YouTuber. One viral video equals 2 million views equals $10,000. All you need is script, ChatGPT, thumbnail, Canva, footage, story blocks, voiceover, 11 Labs, title, YT scale. There's no excuse not to make money with faceless YouTube in 2024. Someone replied to this tweet with, "It's the world of AI, and they are sitting there with excuses." Here's another one of these content bros generously providing his foolproof step-by-step process. Step 1. Niche selection. I provided my students pre-researched niches with high demand and multiple monetization opportunities. This is really great advice. Here I was trying to come up with video ideas based on what might be interesting or useful to people, when I should have been considering monetization opportunities. Won't somebody please think of the monetization opportunities? Step 2. Format selection. Coming to me with a monthly budget of $200, I suggested posting 2 quality videos a month. We used a mix of stock and third-party footage. With a family and a demanding job, his time is limited. As such, all video creation was outsourced to Upwork. Once again, this is killer advice. I also have a demanding job outside of YouTube. This whole time, I should have been taking advantage of cheap labor to do all the work for me. Just think of all the sludge I could produce and all the AdSense I could generate if I didn't have to do anything. I expected to scroll down to the replies and see people angry or confused about this cynical approach to making videos, but everyone seemed to love it. No excuses anymore. The blueprint is right here. Great result fire emoji. Man, this is super sweet. Ah, sweet, man-made horrors beyond my comprehension. The one comment from a guy calling him an idiot was hilariously buried next to a bunch of bot accounts shilling financial scams. I find this particularly funny because not only are these content farmers printing money with their channels, but they're also selling courses to other people who want to hustle just like them, further spreading the sludge machine far and wide. And this stuff isn't only on Twitter. There are hundreds of TikToks explaining step by step how you can create a profitable faceless YouTube channel for passive income. And it's pretty bleak.
How to make $180,000 per month with YouTube automation.
8 free tools you need to create a faceless YouTube video. I made over $12,000 by posting travel videos on YouTube using only AI.
Here's how you can make a faceless YouTube channel using AI. These channels can generate you a ton of money, and the best part is you don't even need to show your face.
Create multiple monetizable YouTube channels using only AI.
So memes aside, this stuff sucks. The videos are bad, and the way they're being made is as soulless as it gets. I'm sure there are worse ways to make money, but this stuff is really depressing to me. Now, the reason a lot of these content farms have been blowing up lately is the influx of all these shiny new AI systems, specifically large language models and deep learning. Now, I'm not here to give you a speech about how AI is horrible, and we should never use it for anything. I studied some AI in university as a part of my program, and I've even used AI before in some of my videos. I used 11 Labs text-to-speech in my Jordan Peterson response shitpost, and I also used it to create Noam Chomsky's voice to introduce the topics in my linguistics iceberg. I've never used ChatGPT in any of my scripts though, because frankly, I find all the ideas it comes up with, and the language it uses really boring. I still think you can make good art using AI though. Tall Bart on YouTube is a great example of that. He uses 11 Labs to create meme videos making fun of different people. They're great. There are definitely major ethical issues with how the datasets of these tools are created, but that's a conversation for another day. For me, the problem isn't necessarily the fact that these AI tools exist, it's how people are using them, and it's easy to see how they're slowly turning the internet into a dumpster fire. Twitter was never perfect, but now it's worse than ever with AI bots. Try searching "sorry but I can't generate." You'll be met with thousands of posts by broken bots that can't write the responses or tweets the creators designed them to. You can see this with third-party sellers on Amazon too. Check out this listing. Pendant for adults, classic elegant pendant, I'm sorry but I cannot generate a product title for. This is all very funny, but it makes you wonder how many AI posts you encounter every day without even realizing it. A little while ago I made a video on the dead internet theory, which is the idea that internet posts have become so disproportionately bot-generated that the internet is effectively dead, a shell of what it used to be. My take in the video was basically that it's kinda real but overblown, and then I went on a long rant about solipsism and Wittgenstein. But this video was released in November of 2021, almost a full year before ChatGPT was released, and things have only accelerated since then. We're already starting to see glimpses of a potential future, and it looks pretty bleak. The year is 2035. You open your phone and read relatable jokes on X.com written by ChatGPT, sprinkled between advertisements for jobs at thumbnail editing sweatshops. You open YouTube to check on your favorite AI-generated creators. They all have a consistent personality, and there are so many of them that you've managed to find a few that are perfectly tailored to the content you want to watch. The videos only have 15 views, because there's such a small demographic for these hyper-specific pieces of content. There are hundreds of millions of these content farms at this point, and the niches have become so narrow that everyone has a feed almost uniquely tailored to them. Nobody talks about their favorite YouTubers anymore, because everybody watches different content farms. All the real creators quit a long time ago, because they couldn't keep up with the sheer volume of videos that the content farms could produce. This all sounds like a dystopian nightmare, but it's clearly the path we're on now. You might have seen that the YouTube legend, Tom Scott, recently retired. He did this for a number of personal reasons, but in an interview he did with The Guardian, he said something very interesting. Between the decline in long-form viewers, the threat from junk zero-effort generative AI channels that are only going to get better, and the sheer mass of competing video options, I think it's going to be a difficult few years. He's spot on here. These years will definitely be difficult. But how did we get here? In the early days, nobody really made any money on YouTube yet, so everyone was just posting for the love of the game. Once monetization was eventually introduced though, things got serious. The YouTubers were happy because they could quit their jobs and spend more time making wacky videos, and the fans were happy because they got higher quality videos more often. Some YouTubers made a lot of money doing this, but it's important to recognize that the attitude was different back then. The end goal wasn't exactly to make money. Views came and went, and people's livelihoods depended on posting consistent, successful videos. If making money was the goal, they'd be accountants or software engineers, rather than relying on the fluctuating whims of the audience and the algorithm. They did it because they enjoyed doing it, or they derived some sense of meaning from sharing things with the world. The money just allowed them to sustain a lifestyle where they could do that. There are a lot of people on this website who still see it that way, the real heads and the old heads, if you will. But there are also a lot of people that see making videos as a means to an end, that end being money. They don't care what kind of content they're making, how good it is, or even if people enjoy it. As long as the number keeps going up, they're happy. The logical conclusion to this cynical view is the content farm bros on Twitter I was talking about earlier. They churn out as much garbage as physically possible to make the most amount of money they possibly can. They don't care what they're making the videos about. Finance, technology, fitness, who cares? The only thing that matters is that they can establish another revenue stream with minimal cost. They collect the plaques as a status symbol, rather than a symbol of what they themselves achieved. Now here's an interesting question. How do these content farms even get views? Why are people watching this garbage? People aren't watching these videos because they're interesting or good. They're watching them because they're there. Content farmers spend a lot of time on SEO optimization, watching trends, finding niches, and scanning analytics, the boring stuff. And they're able to spend a lot more time doing this than ordinary creators because they don't actually have to do anything else. This shift in focus allows their sewage to flow through everyone's homepage and drown out all the human creators who don't have the time, resources, or cynicism required to figure out the most algorithmically optimized trash. Since they're not doing any real work, they're also able to produce far more polished videos than a single human ever could. This is the exact same problem that Hbomberguy described in his legendary plagiarism video. Stealing, whether that's with Control-C or with ChatGPT, is a lot faster than creating. So is it over? Are we destined to live in that bleak future of exclusively AI entertainment? Well, hopefully not. I'm hoping that as these content farms increase in scale and become more prevalent, demand will actually end up increasing for human content. At least right now, the ChatGPT scripts are objectively worse. They're dry, they're stilted, and there's almost no humor. It's also pretty easy to tell if a video is AI generated, since the text-to-speech narration is really awkward. But this won't last forever. With enough time, I'm sure that the large language models will become more and more sophisticated, to the point that it'll be hard to tell. This will be bad. But eventually, I'm hoping the real humans prevail, and the viewers demand it. But how? The idea of a parasocial relationship has a negative connotation. It's a sense of connection with a person who lives in your phone, almost like they're a friend. If you follow someone on the internet for long enough, it's not hard to see how this happens. You see their personality and their interests, and you watch them gradually change over time. This relation is entirely one-sided, but it's still there. This certainly has its downsides, since there's no reciprocity. There's an imbalance between how much you're connected to them and how little they're connected to you. But there's still a connection. With AI, it's just a false connection to nothing. There's nobody on the other side. This is how parasocial relationships might actually save the internet. With the Mr. Beastification of YouTube, the emphasis has been moving away from the personalities and towards the ideas. If the idea is good, it doesn't matter who made the video. It might not even be a person for all I care. But I expect that the pendulum will bounce back. People will gravitate towards authenticity. I think Sam Sulek is a great example of this demand already starting to emerge. The world of fitness YouTube is full of extremely polished content with flashy editing and short runtimes to get to the point quickly. But Sam did something entirely different. He uploads long-form, loosely edited videos of him going about his fitness routine and candidly ranting about bodybuilding, health, and nutrition. This doesn't seem like a formula for success, but in under a year, he's achieved nearly 3 million subscribers doing this. The people want authenticity. They want someone they can connect with and understand on a personal level. Sure, they want the fitness advice and the motivation too, but they want to hear it coming from someone who feels real. Think about it this way. Computers have been better than humans at chess for years, but professional chess is more popular than ever. People want to watch other humans. People have made this point before, that YouTube seems to be shifting back towards more stripped-back content. But I think this return to authenticity is important, not only because the high-octane content was getting stale, but because AI can't do this. AI can make a random listicle video, something vaguely informational, a let's play, or whatever, but it can't be a human being. It can pretend to, but there won't be anything real behind it. With an AI video, there's no sense of connection to another person's thoughts, feelings, or experiences across space and time. It's staring into an empty void. If you'd like to support a human person on YouTube, you can check out my Patreon. I also have a new Discord server if you want to come hang out. Have a great rest of your day.